Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I thought I would share with you a project that I'm working on. It's a little baby blanket and I'm using this pretty little shell stitch which has also got V's in it and some little double crochets. Okay, so I'm using a baby pebble DK yarn by Woolcraft. And it's 100% acrylic, 274 meters, and they recommend a knitting needle size of 4mm. Well, I'm actually using a 4.5mm crochet hook. Okay, so to start off with, we'll make a little swatch. It's worked in multiples of 6, so multiples of 6 plus 4. So if you could make a chain, 27 chains, and then we'll get started. So I've made a length of 27 chains, and then we're going to do a double crochet into the 6th chain from our hook. So don't count the loop on your hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to do a shell stitch into here. 5 double crochet shell. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to make a double crochet V. So skip 2, 1, 2, into the next chain, a double crochet, 1 chain, and a double crochet back into the same stitch. Then skip 2 again, 1, 2, into the next stitch, do a 5 double crochet shell. So 5 double crochets all into the same stitch. 3, 4, and 5. And next a V stitch, skipping 2, 1, 2, into the next stitch, a double crochet, 1 chain, and a double crochet back into the same chain. Then skip 2, 1, 2, and again a shell stitch comprised of 5 double crochets all in the same stitch. 4 and 5, and then another V stitch, 1, 2, skip 2 to the next one, your V stitch, a double crochet, a chain, and a double crochet all into that same stitch, and then skip 2 again, 1, 2, and a 5 double crochet shell stitch into the next stitch. 4 and 5. And then finally skip 2, 1, 2, and pop a double crochet in that last stitch. Okay, so this is how your first row is looking. Don't worry if it's a little bit curly, that will all work itself out. Right, now we next need to do 3 chains and turn. And because we've got a shell here, we now need to go into the 2nd, 3rd and 4th double crochets of the shell with a double crochet. So skip the first one into the next one, a simple double crochet, one in the next one and another one in the next. So this row comprises of 3 double crochets and a V-stitch right across to the end. So in your next V-stitch, pop another V-stitch in there. So a double crochet, 1 chain and a double crochet. In the next shell, in the second double crochet, pop a double crochet. In the next one, another double crochet. And in the next one, another double crochet. And then a V-stitch in the next V-stitch. So a double crochet, 1 chain and a double crochet. And now into the next shell, into the second double crochet of the shell, 1 double crochet. Into the third one, another double crochet. And into the fourth one, another double crochet. And then into your next V-stitch, another V-stitch. So double crochet, chain and double crochet. And then into your shell, skip your first double crochet into the second double crochet, 1 double crochet, into the third double crochet, another double crochet, then into the fourth double crochet of the shell, another double crochet, and then into the top of your chain 3 here, do a double crochet and chain 3, 1, 2, 3 and turn. Now here you can see we've got our 5 double crochet treble and our 3 double crochets. Now we need to go into the middle double crochet here with a double crochet. Sorry if I called it a treble. And do a V-stitch. So 1 chain and another double crochet. Now here we've got 1, 2 V-stitches. We now need to start with a shell, a 5 double crochet shell. So every other row will be the same as this now. You'll do a V-stitch and a 5 double crochet shell. Just check if I've done 5 there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's our V-stitch. That's how it's looking. Okay, so now we need to do a V-stitch into the second double crochet of that group of 3, a double crochet, a chain and a double crochet. And in this next V-stitch, our shell. So 5 double crochets in that V-stitch. 3, 4 and 5. That's how it's looking. And of course we've got the next 3 double crochets. So skip 1 into the middle one. We're going to do a V-stitch, a double crochet, a chain and another double crochet. And here we've got our V-stitch. We need to pop our shell So a 5 double crochet shell in there. And of course in UK terminology these are trebles. And there's your 5 double crochet shell. Now we've come to the final 3 double crochets, skip one into the middle one, do a V-stitch, a double crochet, a chain and a double crochet, and then into the final of the turning chains, 1, 2, 3, just pop a double crochet in there and chain 3 to turn. And this is how your work is looking. Okay, so turn your work, and if you remember, you've always got to have 2 V-stitches on top of one another. So we need a V-stitch in here, and then on top of the shell we always need 3 double crochets. So we're now onto the row where we're repeating this row here. So this is just a repetition of this row, and then we'll repeat that row. So it's a 2-row repeat. Right, so it's just, it works out slightly differently, the order we do things in. Right, so we need a V-stitch there, a double crochet, a chain, a double crochet, and then here we need to pop our 3 double crochets in, the 2nd, 3rd and 4th double crochets of the shell. 1, 2, 3. Just show you how it's looking. Okay, so now we need another V-stitch here. So this row is a V-stitch and 3 double crochets. Skip one, so into the 2nd, into the next one, and into the next one. That's how it's looking. It's a very simple stitch once you get the hang of where the double crochet shells and the little V-stitches go. And now another V-stitch here. And then in the 2nd, 3rd and 4th double crochet, we pop a double crochet. I've recently been working on a vintage pattern in UK terminology, so I'm getting a little bit muddled up with double crochets and trebles. Right, so this is how it's looking, and our final V here, another V-stitch, and a chain. There we go. And then into the 3rd of our turning chains, pop a double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and now we're actually ready to start the 1st row again here, because we've got a shell, 3 double crochets and 2 V's, so we now know we definitely need a shell in this one. So turn, and do your 5 double crochet shell. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And we should be following this with a V-stitch now. So into the middle of those double crochets, do a V-stitch. To there we need our 5 double crochet our 5 double crochet shell. A little V, and then your 5 there. So we'll just go to the end of here and have a little look. So a V-stitch, and then our 5 double crochet shell, another V-stitch in that middle double crochet, and then our 5 double crochet shell at the end here. And in the third of our turning chains, pop a double crochet. Okay, so we'll have a little look now at this. You can see here we started off with our shell, then we had our 3 double crochets, a V-stitch, and now we're starting to repeat here. So yes, it is theoretically a 4-row repeat, but the stitches are so similar as you go along. And once you work out this little sequence here with the the double crochets, the double crochet shell, the 3 double crochets, the V-stitches, and then it starts again, you always seem to know where to put what, whether it's a V-stitch, a group of 3 double crochets, or your shell. Hope I'm not confusing you too much there. So that's that pretty little stitch. I did make a little swatch, a completed little swatch. Now what have I done with that? I'll just have a hunt around for that. So here's that little swatch I made earlier, and it's a good idea to end on where you have your double crochets, your 3 double crochets and your V-stitch on that row. And that way, when you come to work around with your single crochets, if you want to edge your blanket, it's always a nice idea to work around with single crochets and down the sides and along the bottom, etc. You'll find that it's nice and straight for you. Okay, so once again, thank you so much for watching. And thank you to all my subscribers and all your lovely comments. And I hope you really enjoy completing a little project with this lovely stitch. Okay, when I've finished this blanket and I've done the edging, I will pop a video on and let you see. Okay, so in the meantime, take care. If you're not already subscribed, it'd be great if you would. And if you've really enjoyed it, please give the video a thumbs up and hit the bell notification so you don't miss any future videos. Okay, in the meantime, take care and thanks again. Bye.